and rice.
Okay, here we're starting. Recording's up. Go for it.
Shit.
So I shouldn't say any horrible things then.
Mm-hmm.
No racial slurs, please.
Yeah,
Right,
that'll get me banned off
understand.
YouTube, and all the archives will be gone.
Get you
that
banned
was-
off the server.
Yeah, that too.
You know what? That was
what happened? Wow.
Sam said some racial slurs.
I said about 12.
Whoa! I know, it was very, very startling.
He said all 5 of the gamer words.
you combine
All
all
at once.
5 and get banned from
It's
everything.
5? That's crazy. Yo, do it again.
Striker wants to learn.
Nigeria.
You can only,
Nigeria.
only combine all 5 once before you explode.
Nice.
Nintendo
I
64.
thought it was called. No, I'm just kidding.
Striker is very familiar. It's something assembled by color professional. Anyways. Okay, we're good. We're starting. Alright. Now that everybody is seated and has food and or is still browsing memes, we will begin. It's okay. That too. We will return. Again, we I believe we recapped off sort of the video. You awake. We're getting right into it. You awake.
Who's awaking?
You.
Me. Okay.
Yeah, with a rather sore forehead.
Am I healed? Am I healed in any way?
You find yourself sort of rousing in a you got a bed, sort of set off to the side of a room. At its center, you see what looks to be a heating lamp of sorts, so it piped through the ceiling.
Pipe through the ceiling?
Yeah, so it's a furnace with a pipe going through the ceiling. You see sort of the licks of flame from in sort of the grilled hatch where kindling and wood would be thrown to the flames.
Am I restrained?
No, the room is empty, except
I
for
look around.
another individual in a bed opposite the room, vaguely hidden by the furnace.
Okay. How do I feel?
Sore.
Besides my head hurt. Okay. Where's my sword?
Like you woke up after a day after a huge hike, basically.
Yep. Alright, that's fair. Where's my sword?
Your swords are propped up against the furnace.
Okay.
Your armor. You find your armor and sort of the some of your clothes sort of piled, just above your head if you were laying down, so to your right, I guess. You still have sort of the lower half of your kimono sort of folded. It seems like the top of you has been bandaged. Yes.
Okay. So obviously they didn't kill me, so I would have been dead.
No, you're full hit points. You've been healed.
That you know of.
I if I'm still laying down, I'm gonna slowly get up, kind of rub my head and then just like, man. And I would turn around and look at this person that I can't see because it's near the furnace, right?
You sort of see the shape of them, some sort of mottled brown fur. It's Radagast, sort of snoring lately across the room.
I get up. I'm gonna disturb him. I get up, and I kind of just. Is there a door?
Yep, there's a door and a window opposite each other.
Okay. I want to try to not open the door fully, but like kind of just peek.
You peek around the corner. It's a long hallway. There's a door either side of you, and 3 doors just across from you on the other side of the hall.
Okay.
So it's a set of 6 rooms in a hallway.
I grab my bakuhatsu blade and my other katana. Actually, just my bakuhatsu blade, and just hold it with me. And I looked at both sides when I'm looking down, at this hall. Is it both sides? Like this hallway, is it leading in left and right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Either side, down to the right down the hallway. It sort of hits a T section.
Yep.
And it's sort of darker down there. It doesn't appear to be any sort of natural light going, no torches lit. And to your left, there appears to be some sort of natural lighting coming, out of view. It's another T section, so you imagine you're in a sort of a barracks of sorts, where there's just either side of you is either an entrance or an exit, or leads into a further into the structure. You don't really have a lay of this building quite readily.
I'll close the door and I'll just get suit up. I'll let Radagast rest,
Alright.
and I'll suit up myself.
Okay.
Hopefully, I won't make too much noise.
Give me a stealth check.
Yo, bet.
Gotta beat Radagast's passive perception.
What is it? Sleep?
Yes. No.
Okay.
No, you would have to beat a 10, which is, I believe, his perception without his wisdom modifier, which is sort of.
I got a nat one.
Yeah.
I have a
Radagast,
wisdom-
you are awake. You hear Hitoshi fall as he's quickly trying to pull his sort of the shin guard, just and tie it, but he sort of trips. You're still sore and tired and a little off balance from dying.
Okay, I would like Tucker, stop. Tucker, stop. Yes, you dog.
Radagast seems to be referring to you in a strange manner.
He's referring to me, you dog.
No,
Wow.
god damn it.
You can see a portion of Radagast's head is bandaged with some seepage of blood. He may have suffered some head trauma during your
I
journey.
wish to immediately.
Okay.
What's going on?
I look at Radagast. Radagast, stand still. Are you okay? He seems.
Yes, I'm fine.
I don't know where we are. It seems to be whoever engaged with us either took us back
are we
or
dead?
we. No, we are not.
How
Dead,
can we be
I
certain?
think. Well, can I pinch Radagast?
Sure.
I want to pinch Radagast.
Right. He pinches you. It hurts.
Well,
Does that tell you
maybe
something?
we're on a. That doesn't prove anything. We could be trapped in a plane, sucked into our souls with our bodies into an ethereal plane, and we'd be used as a battery.
I say, as interesting as that theory is, Radagast, I think we are alive, and right now I do not know where we are.
I just hope I don't have to meet the person who shot me.
Yeah.
You hear a footstep coming down the hall towards your room.
Hello, is anybody there?
I put my hand over Radagast's mouth.
His snout.
And I put my
What are you
finger in my
doing?
mouth, and I'm like, and now I kind of wanna, just is the footstep getting closer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Radagast to stand on the other side of the door, and I'm standing on the other side of the door with my weapon, and just not unsheathed, but just kind of getting ready.
All right.
For whatever. I'm like, whatever happens, if we have to fight through here, we have to run.
Yes.
All right.
I
Come
will.
closer.
If somebody were to enter the place, I wish to attempt to restrain them and have then Hitoshi threaten them.
All right.
Question: who are they?
you
Where
hear the
are we?
footstep-
And what's going on?
Yeah, you hear the footsteps stop outside your door. You hear the jostling of somebody sort of gripping and moving the screen door, the sort of the thatch door that is the entrance to your room. Slides open and somebody walks in.
All right.
What are your
Looks like-
immediate actions?
I first wish to say, what do they look like?
Okay, it is a woman wearing a pink kimono with sort of patterned flowers, black hair, sort of tied into a not really just a functional ponytail behind their head, wearing glasses.
I wish to
Just sort of steps into the room.
immediately restrain them and ask, "Who are you?
I-
Where am
Alright,
I?"
so you grab her. She starts to scream as she drops the platter of tea she was carrying. That clatters along the ground as you cover her mouth.
Yep.
No, I just wish to restrain her so she can't fight back, and then I wish to ask questions to her. That's the thought process.
Hitoshi will cover her mouth and tell her, "Do not mean to harm you. If you tell us where we are, I'm gonna let go, and I want you not to scream. Not
The
even
last
when you're
person
standing."
who. Are you going to shoot us?
Is she nodding?
She sort of replies.
Okay, I let go. I uncover her mouth. Where are we?
Where are you? You're
Do you
in
mean
Castle
it's
Limatsu.
Is this familiar? Is his name familiar to me?
No.
Oh, okay. No, never. Where? Never heard of this.
Yeah, the T. She sort of stutters, sort of looking at you and looking at Radagast.
I put my I have my blade pulled out, but I kind of just quickly pull back in, and I tell Radagast, let her go.
Okay. Are you sure she's not going to shoot one of us?
I don't know what that means.
she
An
looks
arrow
harmless.
with a bow and arrow.
It's fine.
The last one I
Another
tried to be
one.
friendly with to explain myself to, they shot me.
Very rude. And she leaves.
I tell. Well then, seems to be now we're not in immediate danger, Radagast.
You don't know that.
Well. All right. Well, it's tea all over the floor. Right. All right. Yeah. Get dressed, Radagast.
I'll get dressed at this point.
Well, we should kind of just get out of this room.
Right, you get dressed and you leave the room. Which way do you go? After.
I am so attentive, safe. We're going to go to the left where the natural light is.
You walk down the hallway. You get to the T-junction. You look to your left, and there is what looks to be a courtyard.
Is there anything happening in the courtyard?
No. But birds, no. You see birds in what looks to be tall, what is it, poplar trees? Sakura trees? A lovingly maintained courtyard with a small pond that has large furred fish sort of circling around. The fur is sort of a deep crimson, and the face of this fish, or these fish, there's probably 5 or 6 of them, is a deep blue.
Oh. Do I know what these fishes are?
Nope. But they're interesting. They sort of swim around in circles until they notice you, and then they just sort of swim towards the bank of the pond where you're closest, just sort of sitting there, gasping at the air as if to be fed.
It's not like I have any food for him. I look around the courtyard a little more. Is there any other doors or entrances?
Yes. So you've come on to a bit of a whatever they call a miranda, a bit of, what do they call those sort of fenced walkways just outside of sort of doors and entrances to buildings. Sort of like this area that I'm going to ping. Sort of that sort of fenced area. So you have to find a way down, like these sort of, like you would have to walk around to these steps, what you sort of see as you enter that area. And it sort of wraps around into sort of a square sort of courtyard. Just through past this sort of lovingly embroidered sort of paper screened door or wall. You do sort of smell faint smoke, and with your keen hearing, you vaguely catch the murmurings of conversation.
What direction?
That would be to your left.
I'm gonna tell Radagast, like, some noises over here. And I'm gonna point him in that direction. Obviously trying to be stealth-like and not, get attention. As much as we can.
So you're gonna be sneaky?
We'll attempt to.
Alright, both of you roll me a stealth check.
Alright.
Stealth check.
Stealth. What's
What's
stealth?
my roll?
I wish to now roll stealth. I rolled a 20.
Radagast is quite the sneaky mouse as he sort of creeps along.
Not a mouse. I'm a rat man.
You're a mouse. If they say you're a goddamn mouse.
I take offense to that.
Hitoshi, however, you find you didn't quite facile that shin guard that you were struggling with earlier, and it is dragging loudly across the plaster floor. But the conversation, you're sort of catching the murmurings of the sort of the wisping ends of words. It doesn't seem to react to the loud sort of of your armor against the floor.
Is it behind a door? Is it behind is it across the corner? Around
It is.
the corner?
It appears to be a pair of two sliding doors that are held open, letting the sort of the almost frigid mountain air sort of blow into this building.
Do the voices sound familiar? Like the ones that we engaged with before?
Give me a perception check with your hearing.
Sure. Perception. So that'd be a bit. Yeah.
It sounds like Akane.
Oh,
you catch the higher pitch of her voice a little bit more clearly than the deeper tones that are speaking in and around her.
Okay.
She doesn't sound panicked. You can't make out words, but that definitely is sort of her shriller voice.
Okay. I'll tell Radagast and I turn to him like, I hear Akane. She sounds like she's okay, but be cautious. And then I kind of will have my hand on my katana, and with my thumb kind of pushing out the blade a little bit, I'm gonna kind of quickly snap around the corner in front of this entrance, and I kind of get my stance, my katana just semi out, just ready, ready to combat.
Yeah. You enter a room. You see 12 individuals. One of them is Akane. They're all sitting at a long table. There are two other individuals talking to Akane. It's sort of you sort of catch the end before they stop and realize you're right there. Of a sort of a deeper voiced woman and a very sort of baritone, very low giant man. You identify him. He's not wearing the helmet that you would recognize, but the armor is very recognizable as a man who knocked you unconscious.
Yes.
But Akane just appears to be holding some tea. She just turns and looks at you, sort of vaguely wide-eyed, just, you're awake.
Yes. You she kind of awkward.
The other 12 individuals are all full gear shinobi, just sort of sitting with their arms on their legs, just kneeling, sort of just at the table. Some of them have tea they're drinking, but they just appear to be listening to Akane's conversation with whoever this pair is.
I see. I sheathe my sword and I say, "You're safe, Akane. Good."
Yes, I woke up earlier than you did.
Now, pardon me. I see that we haven't died, so let me introduce myself, I suppose. Again, my name is Satoshi Denda. And
the large man raises his head and he says, "Aye." You gotta find his name.
Oh, and then I will say, and I say, and I kind of like tell him to come over here.
This is Radagast Razakor.
And I say, and this is my other companion, Radagast.
Yes, the large man, the large muscular.
Question: are either the people in the room the ones who shot me?
No.
Okay.
But you do recognize two of them. A long-haired woman. She's fairly attractive looking, but her voice is, from what you could tell, deeper. And the very large man that you saw sort of challenge Hitoshi to a fight. The large man raises his hand and he says, "It is a pleasure to meet you.
Hello?
I am Inu-sama."
Inu-sama?
He sort of nodded, yes.
I see.
"And this is my daughter, Inu-chan." Gestures to the woman wearing, again, she was the woman there with the hammer, if you remember. Gestures to her, she's sort of sitting there with her own tea. Not really making eye contact with anybody, just sort of eyes closed, smelling, enjoying the tea.
I do want to know if you can bring up the icons token so I can see how they look like, if possible.
Sure. I'll give you the face descriptions of the gentleman with the splinter-esque helmet.
I have to go for 2 minutes because I have a dog that's growling at me.
Why is he growling at you?
Because I have sausage.
Damn. Good reason. I will wait for him.
Yes.
What'd I miss? I went to go get water.
Nothing. You are yet to be introduced.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
You just missed Hitoshi just walking into basically a party of shinobi.
Oh, Hitoshi's gonna die then. You can join me in the afterlife.
Yo, Hitoshi was ready. He had his blade half unsheathed. He was ready. But yeah.
This music fucking going crazy for a party. Party of Shinobi.
Think of it as elevator music. Well, we wait for Seth.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, hello. Yes. So the larger gentleman who introduced himself as Inu Domo, his face is sort of, you see his muscular arms, bandaged where you cut him during your duel, are still, look like they're made out of stone. But his face is very round and portly, almost like a sumo wrestler's face. He has a white headband around his head, with no sigil or anything on it. His helmet at his side, his hair balding on the top and tied in a bun. We're gonna get rid of the music. There's a fight going on right now somewhere.
To do battle, I was throw a punch.
Anyway,
My character burst through the ceiling.
how is that traditional Chinese music?
I don't know.
Whatever that was, traditional Chinese
It might
music.
be a folk song or something.
Maybe it's like
that.
maybe it comes from like an alternate universe where China just like hella advanced in technology.
China is a rave going. At all. China is a rave, to be honest.
It's getting lit. Alright. So?
You got his description. Sort of portly, round, vague sort of mutton chops going, with a bushy mustache. But all in all, a sumo wrestler's face. Bald on the top, the remaining sort of I guess the balding hair that he does have is sort of crescented around the back of his head, and tied in a little knot to keep its length from, rubbing against his getting caught in his armor, or a myriad of reasons. A popular hairstyle amongst samurai.
Yeah. Give me a second. Can you please spell, or at least type it out? I guess you don't need to spell it out, but type it out for his name.
Pardon? Sorry.
For his name, because I don't know how to cheat on how to spell his name.
So he introduced himself as Inu.
Oh, okay. Domo.
Yes, so that would be his last name.
Oh, okay.
Inu Domo. And he referred to the person next to him as his daughter, Inu-chan.
How you spell her name? Oh, same thing. Inu.
Yeah, Inu-chan.
Child.
You have to get to know them, I guess, a little better to get their actual.
Understandable. All right.
Well, you would be referred to basically the same as your brothers, just Denda-chan, or Denda-kun. Sorry, Denda-kun. I'm not sure.
Oni-chan.
Surprisingly, yes. Radagast, I believe you are just referred to as Radagast. The Ratkin don't really observe the Shen's cultural norm of just referring to people as their last name to suffix. Because your cultural is sort of all encompassing across.
I believe the thing from my interpretation of Rat folks culture is just you don't have a family name. It's just like your family name would just be where you come from.
Yes.
Which
is why people would refer to you as Radagast. Because
we're basically everybody just refers to you by your first name, and it's just like your the whole your whole group of people is basically just like your family, essentially.
All right. So I say, I will look to his wound and I say, I see that I've at least done something in our battle. Are you okay?
You fought well. For a novice. He sort of slaps his words as he laughs to himself.
I do
Utari
not
sort of
deny
glares.
that
Not at you, but
I
at
do
him.
not. I do not deny that I do need more training, but you did catch me at a very, very bad time.
No, one must always be ready. Hey.
And I
have a
look to Volcana and
question.
say, "Are you okay? How? I know I knocked out, but
Yes, they were much kinder with me. The village is quite beautiful, actually.
village.
Yes, we're in the castle town of Amatsu, apparently. I've not seen it on any maps, but
If I may ask a question,
Um,
who is the person who shot me? I wish to have a word with them.
the woman sort of sitting next to the still laughing Inudomo. Inu-chan is sort of again eyes so closed, enjoying her tea. Says, "That would be Tanaka-kun. He's out on reconnaissance."
I see. Well, when they get back, I wish to have a word with them about how you do not shoot people who are clearly trying to be friendly. That is the most important thing to do.
I have had that
Someone who
conversation
looks to
with
be
him
about half
on
dead and
numerous
after
occasions.
wandering through the mountains.
Did you hear what she said?
No.
Said, I have had that conversation with him on numerous occasions.
See,
The larger one, Inudomo says, "Oh yes, I have many scars from that little one. It's a habit." He sort of says to you.
Is there? I suppose. I guess I'm still standing.
Yeah, but the other, the other 9 individuals aren't even looking at you. They're just sort of attentively just there, like they're waiting for orders.
Right. So I
differing sort of weights and sizes and heights. You see sort of 2 or 3 of them have like the telltale poking ears of sort of a half elf or an elf, but it's sort of pressed up against their head, just outlined by their gi, their ninja sort of apparel. Masks up.
I'll ask them actually. While I do appreciate that you did help, I do have a question. Have you seen? There was another party member of ours. The name was Ara. I'll proceed to describe how Ara looks, and then I'll ask, have you seen him? He was with us.
Inudomo sort of raises a hand to his chin. He says, yeah. Pale fellow. Straw hat.
Yes. And I still have the hat on. I'm pretty sure I'm using a Ross hat right now.
No, I have not seen him.
Oh. Where'd you go?
Maybe, I gotta get my names listed here. Maybe Matsu Domo has an idea. It's Okage here.
Oh, see.
I am a Jonin. My daughter is a Chunin, as is the man who shot you. Ratagast, I believe I've been informed.
yes.
Yes. I say, while I appreciate, I suppose, the hospitality, I am actually on a very important mission. It's quite, though. And you see, he told you look around and say,
Yeah, so Akane just sort of raises his hand. I believe our mission is done, actually. I've been informed by the lovely Inudomo that your father is here.
Father, he's here. Take me to him right away.
I cannot
Is
do
that what
that.
this is all about again?
Why not?
He is in the Council of the Seers at the moment, and they must not be disturbed.
And you see, Toshi kind of sighs and he's like, at least I know father is here. Fine.
Ah, the shoes! You got the message!
Was it you that sent it?
It was Tanaka.
I see. Well, I suppose that now they're here. Tell me, why is father here anyway? Why did he run? Do you know?
That is an interesting story. I am
Well,
sure
I
you
have
will learn
time.
it in time.
Oh.
Now, have tea with us. It is tradition.
Wait, what do you say?
Have tea with him. It is tradition.
Oh, okay.
He
I
gestures.
suppose, and
He gestures abruptly, and two of the shinobi just get up, walk out the door, and around the corner, like they have something very important to do.
okay. Yeah, I'll take the seat right. I guess close to here.
They were
Or-
at the far. You're not close to them. It was the two closest to you. They're sort of at the
Okay.
head of the table. Connie is also sort of at the head of the table. It's a little awkward because but you can still see them. Connie is a little obscured by probably the 3 to 4 shinobi between you and her.
Yes.
But yes.
I'll just pick a random seat then.
You find that the woman in the pink kimono with the glasses sort of returns, but she's got more of a scowl on when she hands you her tea.
I turn around and I say, I am sorry. I apologize. You have to understand. I woke up. I did not know what was going on. If there's any way I can make it up.
She just puts her nose up in the air and walks away. with a bit of a yeah.
Tough one she is, huh?
It might take a little bit longer for her to pull
What? Is she?
manhandling at the rim of the rat.
No, we might have been captured. I don't know why she's so angry.
See, as she walks away, and she leaves through one of the doors in this room. There's 2 doors either side of the room. The one that you saw her enter and leave to smells vaguely of tea and sort of incense and spices, so it's most likely where some of the cookery might be. The other door, you have no idea. And there are 2 either side of the head of the table, which is sort of opposite where you've entered.
Mm-hmm.
The walls of this room are black, with gold dragons embroidered along the walls, sort of curling and intertwining, and sort of escapes of mountains and intervening foliage, sort of artistically rendered in silver. It's a very expensive place, wherever this is.
Okay.
Now this tea, I'll pick it up. I'll give it a good smell. See how it is.
It's a spiced green tea. It has the telltale sort of scent and appearance, but it definitely has it smells like it has a bit more of an earthy, sort of vibrant, I want to say savory fieriness to it.
I'll take a drink. Sure.
Never in your life have you ever had spicy green tea, but it's good. It's good.
Okay.
It just kicks a little bit more. Its aftertaste is a less sort of lower in its flavor, and this is much more of a higher sort of kick as you finish it.
Very spicy tea, but very good. Say.
Yes. Dragon spice.
Dragon spice. Is that easy to come by?
No, you don't know what dragon spice is.
Oh, okay.
It is harvested from the corpses of long dead dragons. They crest the mountains just outside. They came to die here for an unknown reason long ago.
Hitoshi jokingly will say, here I thought you were the one to be killing the dragon.
That was us. Well, not me. It was another gentleman. I did to hear from him. I am glad to see he succeeded, though. We have been struggling with reports of hobgoblin patrols through the mountain range. Unchecked, surprisingly. And Yuki is usually sort of pauses at the mention of the name. Responsible. Never this careless.
Yeah. So tell me, what are you? I should say, what are you doing up here? But how long were you guys here for?
I have been here since I was a child, as has my daughter.
Father never mentioned a place like this up here.
Then he must not be familiar. I'm joking. He's very familiar. I do not know. It might have to do with our Hokage's history. But alas, that is not for me to share.
I see. All right. Akane.
You sort of throw her with the name drop.
Oh.
Yes. Sort of preventing the spitting up of tea.
I ask her, were you able to see father before I?
No. They told me what they told you.
Alright. Well,
Pongo is okay.
good.
Oh, thank goodness. I was
They heard
concerned. Can we see Pongo?
Yeah, where's
He's down in the village.
Oh. Is he? No, he's not causing any trouble, is he?
No, I just didn't have anywhere large enough for him, so he's with the livestock.
Pongo with the livestock.
Pongo with the livestock.
It seems to be
It's like
getting
royalty.
along with the. Yes, it's a little bit strange, but he seems to be doing well.
Saw that. So, I suppose I should ask, is there anything that you need from me then? Since I suppose, in a way, I am in your debt.
Oh yes, much. There is never-ending tasks to be done. But for now, you may relax. Enjoy the amenities of Katsole Matsu. As
I am
probably the first shinobi clan you've come across in their own home. Let this be a fine experience.
No. I am actually very curious on how you train.
Lengthy, over years.
Would today be would you have a training session today by chance?
Every day is training day.
I see.
Well then,
May I
you get rest at least, right?
Every night.
Constant training every day can not be healthy for the body.
Every day we break our backs so the night may heal them in our rest.
But the body needs more time to heal than that.
I look at Red the Gas and say, I do not know really much about shinobis, but as far as I can tell, they train for all of their lives and are very skilled at what they do. So
Okay.
yes, it's surprisingly enough, Red the Gas. I don't think we'll be alive if that was a real counter, unfortunately. As hard as that is for me to admit.
What do you reference?
What do you mean?
What are you referencing? Encounter.
Oh, you.
Oh, yes. I see.
Yeah.
No, it was not. I will probably catch an earful from either the Hokage or your father.
Oh,
But I wanted to see the metal of which you were born. As any
Hopefully I
warrior
pass.
should. Yes, flying colors. To face your death with a fire in your heart. No better end exists.
Mother will probably say otherwise, but yes.
Most mothers do.
Yeah. And with that, I'll just slowly enjoy my tea and just yeah.
Very soon after you start to enjoy your tea, he dismisses the rest of the shinobi. And you are just sort of left with everybody here, just sort of chatting, talking. You get a little bit more information about Inu. Their first names are, the large one's first name is Isha, Isha. You almost laugh at the name as it is a woman's name, but he is probably twice as large as you are, and you still are in a lot of pain, so it probably wouldn't be very smart. And his daughter's name is Sakuya.
Sakuya?
Sakuya. Sakuya.
Sakuya. Oh, Sakuya. Okay. All right. And perfect. And I would actually ask Sakuya, say, I suppose you were same as your father then, trained for for almost all your life. Yes.
Yes, I was.
Now
Damn.
I'm curious. And you see Hitoshi kind of put his hands together and have his put his hands on the table and say, I'm kind of curious. Have you ever wondered about exploring more than where you are?
I have seen the seven seas and the floating
Really?
ice of the north. I have been around these mountains for my entire life, which admittedly hasn't been very long. She seems to be probably 17, 18 years old.
And she's telling me that she's gone around, like,
Yes.
basically Kiyosh?
Yes.
Or, okay. See. Wow.
She says, work demands we move and try. This is a rare respect. I suggest you enjoy it as I do.
I set out, before I came back home, I should say, I set out on a journey to, I suppose, one to self-discover myself, but more along the lines of, really, I suppose I shouldn't be telling you this, but me and Father B really had a much fallout before I gone. So,
a young princeling having a fallout with their father. Take no offense, it's not exactly uncommon.
Well.
Sort of feel that sort of bite a little bit. The dismissiveness.
Yeah. But
don't mind her. She has very little respect for not only authority and her father, but for nobility.
I raise my hand and object, and I say, please, I don't want my people to only know me by my nobility and my status. Please. What she says is fair. I am sure other families around Kiyosh also has the same issues. But I do not know how Father will react. Hopefully he'll...
That you had arrived.
Yes. But I do bring some grave news as well.
Yes.
I guess for his ears. And yeah, we'll just continue to talk.
You both learn that they are practitioners of a thing known as Misto Jutsu. It's control of steam. To conceal and sort of hinder opponents. You find that Isha Inu, or Inu Domo, was vaguely frustrated at his the fact that you were in such ill a state he was unable to display his prowess with his jutsu.
Well, I don't think I'm ready for it again yet, but I am always okay with sparring. I was looking for experience, of course.
They both look at each other. You see, she just sort of a meek chuckle as he just boasts out laughing. It'll be the day when we spar.
I see
it the wrong way, but
I see
you are a princeling.
I see. Well, then I bow my head and I say, then I am in your care.
The Sakuya, this is how one respects their elders. Yeah. She just sort of says as she stands up and walks through the door to the right of the head of the table. I said there were two doors up there. It just closes behind her.
I kind of give him that look like...
And,
yeah. So tell me, how many are you there? Are you here? I guess in
that
this
would be telling, would it not?
I suppose.
Shinobi's plans are only Shinobi's clan is only as good as its secrets.
That's fair. Was Radagast about to say something? I didn't.
Radagast is intently listening to the conversation.
I see.
He's
Okay.
never.
I thought you were about to say something.
No. Radagast is kind of like writing down all this stuff to tell later to his hometown.
You see, progressively, Isha, not like through any alarm of your own, just as if he had like a tick or something, like an idle sort of tick, like an eye twitch or something. He'd be glancing off the corner of the room, and at a point, you just see he abruptly slams down his sort of the wooden sort of teacup he has, which is very large compared to his hand, and says, "Will you come out of the corner already?"
Someone there?
You turn to look, and you see, in almost plain view, just obscured lightly by shadow, a tall figure in purple robes. Oshi, sit.
Who is this?
Yes.
Yes.
You are being introduced. You've been here for you arrived as per your instructions to in a words fill a gap in a very important group that had quite the role to play in the grand scheme of things. You are unimpressed at the moment. It's a princeling and a homeless rat man. It appears to be at first. And you've just been studying them from the shadow, even though you were immediately welcomed as a guest by the Shinobi clan, Shinobi Clan Mamatsu. You abating their initial suspicion with your complete familiarity with this group, their names, where they come from, your suppositive, in quotations, connection to their father, which is, in a word, false. As you sort of begin to try to contemplate your vague explanation that you'll have to give when that comes around, if you ever choose to truly interact with the patriarch of the Denda clan. You emerge as you've been called for by the only one with a high enough perception to see you. Who knew you were there the entire time as he greeted you into this room. Jonan Isha Inu gestures for you to sit.
Are you sure these are the right people?
Yes.
People for what?
I interject and say, pardon me, but who are you?
Yes.
Would you like to introduce your character?
Yes.
As you
my name is
forward.
Boshi. My friends call me Boshi. You may call me Boshi.
I don't think I will call you Boshi.
Okay, then what will you call me then, Mr. Homeless Man?
Ratagas.
Homeless Man will do.
I'm Ratagas. That's my name. You will get your name.
Greetings.
What does he look like, Robin? What does your character look like?
Well, I am a white-scaled dragonborn with obviously the marks of the order on his forehead and probably on his hands someplace. So yeah, and I'm just wearing whatever it was given to me in my character.
All right, so yeah, as he steps forward from the shower, from the shadows, he has as he describes. It's about 6 feet tall, well built, blue, vibrant eyes, but white scales, sort of reflecting any sort of almost completely like mirror sheen white. You see the glints of banding orange as the torchlight in this room reflects off his scales. Wearing a hooded purple robe that conceals most of his body. You see as he steps forward and goes to sit down, he parts it. It seems like it was just one piece, but as he parts it, you very clearly see that this robe that he was wearing, this sort of poncho cloak, there we go, cloak he was wearing, that seemed to wrap around his whole body, splits down the center. Magically or otherwise, you don't know. It seemed to be just one piece of fabric. He displays to have sort of lightly tinted purple and brown leather armor, sort of tightly around his sort of reptilian form. You see knives, you see sort of capsules and potions and pouches and all manner of things. A sort of stealthy character, very much the same and very much different than the shinobi that were once in this room. He has tattooed, just on his forehead, a purple eye, as well as on the tops and palms of his hands. You see purple eyes with a band leading up into the arm of the robe, out of sight.
Huh. Okay. I I guess I'll stand up and I'll extend my hand and say, "Well, my name is Hitoshi Denda. Pleasure to meet you."
I'll extend my hand back. I'm Boshi.
Yes. Are you part of the? I
No.
suppose. No.
No, actually, I'm not from around these parts. I was sent here, by a friend, let's say, a mutual benefactor, to say that he is all right, and that he is apologetic that he has left you. I believe you are familiar with Ara, aren't you?
Yes. Yes. Do you know what happened to him?
Yes. Well, I don't know how to tell this to you guys really, but you both died, and in his in his panic state, he's probably not intentionally screamed across the multiverse and contacted us. So now they have taken him to where I don't really care what they're doing, but he's requested that I be sent here on behalf of him.
Wait. Sorry. And then you see Hitoshi kind of just like shake his head a little bit and say,
This lore dump has Lord Hitoshi. You just see he's still smiling, holding your hand, just looking at you. But in no way has you see on his face he has not grasped the slightest of what you've told him, other than that he had tried and that Ara is okay.
You telling me that I died?
Yes, you and the Rat Man.
Me and Retagast died.
Yes, you both died. That is
No.
what I said.
I look at Isha and I say, "Is this true? Do you know? Can you confirm?"
I did not see you die.
No, okay. How do I
It is
explain this?
possible.
You
come
both
back.
died, and when he called for us, we helped him bring you guys back to life at the cost that he would come with us back to our wherever we are.
I'm sorry, but you keep saying we, but who are you referring to?
Do you not see the eyes? The tattoos, the Order of the Nine Eyes. The Order of the... not, there's no the.
Really explain
Drop out
what
the
that
the.
is.
I am very not. Am I familiar with this actually?
No idea.
No, okay. I never heard of this before.
You like your father heard you give me a history check. Give me a history check. That's DC's high. Both of you give me this history check. DC is above 20.
Okay, history check. All right, I don't think I had a good history check.
Radagast, can I get a history check?
Yep.
One Radagast is up to you. History.
Nope.
Why?
Yeah.
What is history when you think about it?
You should just say the past.
Yes, but how does it really mean to document or remember the past?
Where did this come from?
Yeah,
Well, we-
And
we don't
kind
typically
of
accept
ignoring
new
Radagast.
members.
So you're saying that you, or assuming your order, saved us? Then
Yes, that is exactly what I am saying.
and then you see Hitoshi kind of just let go your hand, move back a little bit, and then deeply bows and say, "Thank you." And I say, Retagast, show some respect too. And I say, "Thank you." I'm assuming Akane was there too, and I tell him, "Akane."
Oh,
Akane's just sort of watching. You see like a vague expression of frozen terror as she realizes that somebody has been in this room that she's been unable to address and sort of socially react to. As a vague sort of air of embarrassment sort of creeps across her face as she stands up and bows.
Yes, I think. Thank you. From me, my companions, and from Clan Denda, thank you.
Of course. But, Miss in the corner, you need not apologize. You didn't die. Neither did the bear.
Oh,
It was
we
only
would've-
you two. But maybe, just as a personal message from the Order, bring some coats next time. We can only do that so
Yeah.
many times.
the summer warmth
Yes.
in the lowlands got the better of me. I didn't think.
I
My fault.
did, yeah. It's okay, Akane. We learned. It's a learning experience. Though I can't really say
was
that we
almost
should die.
not a learning experience. It was
Yes.
a dying
Yes.
experience. Toshi.
Yes, Akane. Yes.
I need
But
to
you know,
rethink everything.
we live. That's okay. And Hitoshi,
She just,
you know,
she just
stands
vaguely
up
just
to bow.
sort of starts rocking at the torso, arms clutched to her chest, and then Isha says, "She may have some trauma. Yes."
Yes, this is why we don't usually tell
I-
people that they've died. But it was a personal message from
see.
Ara. So
I mean,
must
I've
pass
already
it on.
died before, so.
Oh.
Well,
You see
fine.
Hitoshi turn to Radagast. I'm like, excuse me?
You remember when he was torn apart by demons, running away from through the forest?
Yeah, I was like
Oh,
that. I was like that. What about holding by the
Right,
demons?
because the wild magic. I forgot.
Like,
Wait, but did I? But did I?
Sorcerer.
But did I see? But did I like witness this? I forgot. Like I think I was.
No, you did look
everybody-
back.
everybody-
Everybody
Oh, I did.
looked back as Pongo was booking it.
Okay.
and,
Alright.
and so I think there was an arm, and then a leg, and then possibly the head go flying out of the pile of
yes,
gore.
yes.
Yes, we did see that. That was quite the scene you guys put on.
Hitoshi will go into Akane and kind of just like come.
He just hugs you.
It's okay. We all have to die.
She does. She starts crying.
Yes.
She doesn't know where she is or what's happening, and
It's okay.
you grasp that she's just sort of unloading emotionally at this moment.
Oh boy.
It's fine.
Yes. I look to Boshi and say, well, I suppose that if you're here to replace Ara, can you at least tell me that he is okay?
Yes. He is fine.
Okay,
He is
perfect.
undergoing tests, like trials, to see that he is worthy to join us.
Well, I only know him for, well, a few hours. what was it like?
You knew him for 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. Yeah, it's only been short, but he's a pretty interesting character. Hopefully, it turns out right. He did save our lives, so I do owe him that much.
Yes. I guarantee you with like 75% certainty that he will be back eventually.
Are you sure?
No, that's what 75
but-
insinuates.
I see. Okay.
But since you are here,
Are you going to help us on our
Well-
adventure? It seems.
Yes.
well, I told Radagast, well, it doesn't seem like we already know where my father is, so technically
Oh.
I don't really need.
Well,
I
how
mean-
about we go exploring?
Well, then that is fine.
It would be good reason. No, I mean, I still need to get stories to tell to my to my hometown and the children there.
Then I will just be returning to my plane, and I'll give Ara the good news.
You know, Hitoshi, you see Hitoshi kind of like at first he's like he's about to say yeah, and then he's like, unfortunately, I have family obligation. Depending on what father says, I did
Well.
run out.
You could just run away again, couldn't you? You did last time.
I do not know how that would fare a second time, really. And you see Hitoshi kind of just rubs his temple a little bit and say, I will see my father, hopefully soon, and from there we'll see. I looked to Radagast like, I think going on more adventures would be nice, but I am Prince, fortunately. And Akane is still crying.
Yeah,
She's just sort of enjoying the hug right now.
It's okay.
yeah,
And
that's-
yeah, I
That's
say,
why we don't usually tell people that they died. I'm sorry about that.
She sort of says, just through tears, it's not that they died. It's that I could have stopped it if I just prepared better.
it's okay.
I
It's
hate to
okay.
tell you this, but out of all the forces of nature, I think cold is the most unstoppable one. I think you guys probably wouldn't have made it through the mountain pass either way.
I don't know why, but that doesn't make me feel better.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is that comfort narcotic?
Look, we weren't trained to console emotions, alright? We just tell it how it is.
Oh, I understand that. I respect that. But yeah, please, if you may, join us. As I guess offer any tell them to come join us tea, I guess.
Gladly. It was a long journey from the psychic plane to wherever we are.
Going Castle Imatsu,
Ah, this place.
as I have said to you.
Yes, you have.
What time?
Yeah.
I will ask, do you know how long my father will be?
No. You'll most likely be back by nightfall.
Okay. Well, I do go see Pongo. So.
Yes, be free of me.
Huh?
He said, yes, be free of me.
Oh, cool. I get up and I say to everybody else, please, I'm gonna go check up on Pongo. Yes, and I will kind of leave. Well, actually, no, because I don't know how to get to where they're talking about where he is. So I kind of say, I kind of come back around and say, anyone know how to get to where Pongo is?
I do. There's a Connie.
Yes,
They
please.
should be around while you are unconscious.
And I say to Radagast, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you want to go to after all that, huh?
Yes.
And I look to Boshi and say, well, I suppose if you'll be joining us, I suppose you should meet your other companion.
Of course. I'm just enjoying the feeling that it's been a while since I had blood. Feels good.
What do you mean had blood?
Yeah,
You drink
it's
blood?
just like me.
No, like
drink
blood in my body.
Whoa,
yes,
how can you not have blood in your body?
I'll explain it to you later.
Well, let me have a look at you then. I wish to try and
Please do not
inspect him
touch
to
me
see-
with your homeless hands.
I am not homeless. I'm only
It looks
homeless
very
sometimes.
much like you are homeless.
I wish to attempt to inspect his
You
body.
smell as if
Does
you
he
have
in
not
fact
showered
have
in a
blood,
millennium.
and how does the body work?
Please do not
Give me a
touch me.
medicine check at disadvantage. The DC is high.
A medicine check?
I'm
All
gonna
right.
kind of like
Medicine.
pull my cloak over myself more.
Yeah, so at disadvantage.
Medicine.
This man has no blood.
This man has no
You
blood.
lied to me. You don't have any blood at all.
I don't. That is.
No, I just checked. You do not have any blood.
That is new.
You do notice that
How are you
his checking was he stared just intensely into the side of your cloak and then informed you you had no blood.
Can you please stop telling me if I do not or do have bodily functions?
I'm very good at this. I'm old. I'm 40 years old, you know.
I'm old. It's 40 years old. Like what is actually? I'm curious. What is the average lifespan of a Kiyoshin,
Rat.
I guess, citizen?
It
I
varies
guess you have a
wildly.
rat. Of a rat. Curious. I would actually turn to Radagast and ask.
I should have made a stealth check when he was trying to medicine me.
Does Radagast know?
Well,
How long do
generally we
people,
live
tend-
to about maybe 80.
Are we just
That's
going to sit here and discuss who and
Pretty,
who
that's
doesn't have
like basically
blood all
human,
day?
kind of.
As you're discussing, you are moving. You've left through the door on the left of sort of at the head of the table. There's a large chair, by the way, at the head of the table that has remained empty throughout this whole thing. There is also an armor stand behind it, but it appears to have no armor on it. Anyways, you leave through the door on the left at the head, sort of next to that large chair to the left of it. And you enter another hall that you walk down. There's just another set of 3 rooms on either side of you. But instead of a T-junction, there's just a large door that you push open, and you enter the main sort of gathering area. You see shinobi on either side of you, sort of punching dummies, fighting sort of wooden contraptions that sort of spin and swing back as you fight them. There are various sort of exercise equipment and weapons on racks, both lethal and non-lethal. There's probably 30 some odd shinobi in this courtyard training. There are a few other buildings connected to this large courtyard. Probably 4 to 5 yards of courtyard. So a fairly decent sized space. There's a stable you identify. There's a 3-story structure that looks fairly simple, covered in black banners with what appears to be a white dragon on it, sort of coiling in an S shape.
Can I just assume off of that this is clan's emblem or
yes,
or,
very yes. It was sort of vaguely embossed on the chest piece of Inudomo and on the shoulder pads of Inu-chan.
So,
Okay.
do explain to me, because I don't exactly pay attention to what people do out here, but what exactly are we looking for?
We're looking for Pongo, my red panda.
Pongo,
no,
like
no,
a great
no,
Pongo.
beyond that. Big picture.
Oh,
Um,
I personally adventure around and attempting to gain tales to write into a book, and then publish the book in my hometown.
Your instructions, Boshi, I'm going to give to you in a private channel.
Alright. And what about you, Denda?
Can you speak here?
Hello.
Your instructions are the patriarch of the Denda clan has some rather important information that's been divined, although the exact context and contents are unknown to the order. Your job is to sort of get that information, sort of suss out if it's something that could be, advantageous to the order or detrimental to the order, and then act either on your own or with this group to try to either, complete a sort of an operation that would see this threat or non-threat utilized to benefit the order or neutralize.
Alright, so I'm trying to get some kind of information out of the Dendas?
Yes.
All
Yes. Potentially dangerous information.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's hush. You're not supposed to tell anybody
Okay.
about that.
Yeah, I will definitely not be telling anybody. Alright, so
Hello?
yes. Back
Yeah.
to what we
Oh.
were saying.
Yes. So you at the far end of this courtyard there is a large gate with heavy wooden doors. This is a walled courtyard. You see where battlements would be either built or are, where shinobi could stand and fire down on attackers. You are elevated in the mountains, quite high.
And an elevator?
You're no, you're not in an elevator. You're elevated.
Oh.
Up in the mountains, very clearly. You see clouds at eye level.
Oh.
The air is thin, but all of you are creatures that are magical in some way, so I'm going to say that probably doesn't affect you too terribly. Although it is, you wouldn't want to run any marathons up here. The shinobis in full swing workout up here are admirably doing so, because doing so up here would be insane. Yeah.
I would assume it would just mean that we would get exhausted through long workouts, right? Because
Yes.
there would just be less oxygen.
Yes.
I would assume it's not above the death line, because at that point nobody should be living up here, because they should all be corpses by that point.
Well, I don't think the death line is where all the clouds are at.
Fun fact: Goliaths live above the death line.
Really?
What?
Yeah. They have stones endurance and stuff.
Weird.
Oh.
Cool.
Fuck, that's
Yeah. At least I would imagine so. Otherwise, I wouldn't see that they would need that trait. You know what I mean? Anyways, you're in this courtyard. There are 2 buildings at the side of you. One looks like a temple. One looks like a large 3-storied structure, very simple, utilitarian in its design. You see shinobi entering and leaving that building. The doors are held open.
Wow. See,
And
it
there's
shows you kind of like astonished a little bit.
Yeah, and then you look behind you, sort of turning, and you appear to have left a variable palace. It stretches probably 3 to 4 floors up. There is a large castle structure that you see a winding pathway lead up to. That could very well be its own bastion of defense. let alone this armored courtyard, which appears to be the only way up to it. But I mean, these are shinobi, so who knows?
Right.
Yeah, and it appears to be embedded in the mountainside. It's got like the standard sort of Japanese Shinto castle style of sort of the tiered roofs and the tiered floors and sort of the thinner outlying wall. But it's embedded. Half of it just seems to be vaguely built onto and carved into the mountainside. Assailing that with normal siege means would be virtually impossible. You'd have to probably starve it out. Just that the tactics your father taught you as a child. In his sort of, your brother was a little bit more attentive in those than you were, dreaming of adventure. But yeah. What would you like to do now that you're in this area?
I say, wow, that's a lot. Connie, but where is the
this way, downwards towards the town.
Okay. But yeah, you see Itoshi kind of like while walking, you see his head kind of turn around, watching people train and stuff. He's like fascinated, like damn.
People are doing like sick like flips and kicks and like like landing drop kicks like upright, and they're like spin kicking, and there's a lot of kicks going. A lot of just like insanely rapid punches that seem to be fairly like forceful. You do see two shinobi who look a little bit more well equipped than the others. One is sort of doing a strange dance, while the other is just in a meditative hover, probably 3 feet off the ground. As you're just sort of walking by them, you notice as this one who's doing the dance comes to a stop, he breathes a jet of fire, probably 30 feet in length, into the air.
Okay. I turned. Isha's not with us. I'm guessing he's not following us.
No, he was still sitting sitting at the table.
I'll just marvel at what I'm just looking for. Like, ooh.
Stories as a child, both you and Radagast would identify that as probably a jutsu of some kind.
Ooh.
Do you people always build your cities this high altitude?
I don't know. I haven't built. This is not my place, my friend. I come from Castle Denda, and I come generally point him in the direction where.
Yeah, you have no idea where you are. Like like the path you took here was winding insanely so. But the Castle Denda is considered a higher elevation settlement. You're in the highlands, sort of a temperate forestly highland, high altitude trees, a river that flows quite quickly downstream, things like that. Nestled on a mountainside.
This is more extreme.
This is insane. Like you find it briefly unfathomable how to build a place of this magnitude until you remember magic exists. It seems to be fairly impenetrable, but I mean, magic exists, right?
True.
Who knows? I mean, you never fathomed something like this could even exist, let alone all the things you didn't know existed before you ran away and discovered.
You're right. All right. Yeah, I'm just marveling.
Akane leads you to the end of the courtyard, through the large gate that's held open, to a series of probably 100 steps downwards.
Oh, gotta get my daily exercise in.
Yeah, it's sort of nestled, in a bit of a canyon, if you will. Yeah. The mountains that sort of surrounded the compound you just exited sort of come together to support this stairway. Mm-hmm. About 100 or so steps, you come to what appears to be a extremely inclined village. And I mean like there's very little level ground here. It's just downhill. But it is full of life. Even the snow-covered trees appear to be attempting in their own vain way to resist the cold and bloom. They're with their sort of spring rites to do so. You see a lot of crows and a lot of ravens nest on rooftops. Although it appears that the streets are clean. There's no excess of a waste from these animals. You see fabulously constructed almost... They're not alien to you. They're a cultural architectural style you're familiar with, but it's been changed slightly. There are doors that lead to no balconies. Exit points. Lots of exit points on these buildings. Lots of windows. Lots of vantage points. Almost every building is topped with a little a nest of sorts, a bungalow, I want to say like a think of like a sniper's nest, if you will, just a place where someone can.
Is it like it's like a guard tower?
Yeah, like a guard tower. And you do see like a shinobi, a villager with a bow and a straw hat, sort of bundled warm in one, and they have these tall crane-like extensions upwards that have a basket at the end of them. So probably 30 feet above these watchtowers, which are pretty tall on the tops of these buildings, is a basket with a large fire lit within it. And it appears to be on some sort of system that allows it to lower and elevate. But these are lit. They seem to be lit for some time. Some of them very clearly haven't been lowered, and sometimes you see sort of snow collecting along the arm of this crane-like appendage. As you sort of descend more and more steps. Nobody seems to pay you very much mind, except for the children, who sort of point and stare at your long flowing white hair and the dragon man who's walking with you, and the absolutely surprisingly fluffy looking rat man, the rat kid with you, who your fur has almost you've almost regained your winter sort of coat as you've sort of slumped up in response to the aggravated cold weather.
I see. Does that mean I now have resistance?
No. It is literally just you having had died. It's like the world's worst bedhead. You died. You were laying in the snow for like 20 minutes. You had to walk through a blizzard. You got shot with an arrow. I'm pretty sure you fell off something at some point, or you're pretty sure you fell off something at some point.
I wouldn't doubt it.
As you proceed to the town, and Akane points to a less inclined area where you see a herd of mountain goats, probably 100 of them packed together, and you see Pongo just sort of laying on his back, half covered in snow, just asleep. It's a large area too. It's
the thing you were looking for?
Well, yeah, enjoying himself. I kind of yell, Pongo!
He sort of wakes up, lurching forward, the snow sort of falling off his head and his stomach as he sort of rolls forward, sitting up like an overweight man would on a couch. Sort of rolls over, gets on all fours, and starts to lumber towards you with a jaunty gait.
Yay! I want to call it Pongo.
I run up to Pongo and give him a good old hug.
He tries to jump up onto the gate just to give you just full access to his chest and his neck and his face as he tries to just push his head into yours. But he knocks over the fence that he had been keeping these goats within, and they book it. As you see, a dozen villagers just run from their houses with sort of large sticks, sort of yelling, "Yeah, back to your pen, back to your pen."
I tell Pongo, come on.
I wish to try and defend Pongo's honor and attempt to explain to the villagers that Pongo is not a dangerous, violent creature.
Oh, they're not yelling at Pongo. They're chasing the goats. These 100 goats have taken off down the mountainside.
It appears that we have let out their livestock.
You see Toshi is like, and he looks at Pongo is like.
In that case, I wish to pet the Pongo.
Okay, you pet the Pongo. An elderly village just sort of stops swiftly with a stick in the air as he runs by and says, "Stupid panda!" As he books off down the
He's
stairs
not
after the
stupid!
I look at Pongo and I pat him on the head. It's like, sometimes I feel like it's not wrong.
He sort of steps over the crushed fence and tries to nudge it back up with his nose.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I know. I pat his head and it's like, well, how is the village now that we're down here? Actually, have we seen the part of it, or just like
most of it is covered in snow. It seems fairly ancient here. A lot of the buildings have seen some pretty significant repair, not through like being damaged, but just upkeep.
Yeah.
So you see, various different cuts of stone having been placed sort of over what would have originally been a beautiful mosaic, just to maintain structural security. You see new structures cropped up against the mountainside that are more of a sort of a yurt hut instead of the sort of the fantastical Kiyosh architecture that makes up the majority of this village. You do see sort of residences just embedded on the mountainside with ramshackle, very precarious-looking, sort of hammered-in wooden steps, very sparsely connecting them. Not a place you would want a small child, per se. But you do see them up there, just sitting, eating something, staring down. One sort of waves cheerily from a distance at the shenanigans of these goats and Pongo.
Okay. I kind of like look at it kind of. Well,
she's just sort of fallen over into Pongo, just arms out, just to yeah.
I'll let them two be, and I kind of look to Radagast and our friend here. Oh shit, what is Boshi? And I say, well, now that we got Pongo back, we have the whole team. Now, go back up those stairs. I suppose. But now that we're down here, we were told to just, I suppose, take the time to relax and look around.
Yes. Where do you suppose we should go first?
Let's go get some food. I haven't eaten in
food.
That's true. I only had tea.
Food.
Maybe some food around here would be.
Good question.
And that's how it kind of went. Pongo, come. Don't try to destroy anything. Yeah. We'll explore this place a little bit.
All right. Upon further investigation, it does seem like those goats were probably this village's source of nutrition. But you do see vague rows planted in what appears to be very rough, gravelly soil, with sort of vines having rotted through the winter, but do still link between these posts. Probably would have provided some vegetative nutrition at some point, whatever these were. I mean, hell, this place doesn't really look like a place where people could survive long term.
Right.
But, I mean, Isha mentioned the dragon spice harvested from dead dragons on the mountaintop. Maybe they carved those up for a different source of nutrition. Questions you might want to ask some of the local folk.
Yeah.
But you guys are fully free at this point.
Alright. Since we're waiting for my father, I gotta speak out loud. Since we're waiting for my father to this, suppose, I guess man, it's not one like your traditional village where there's like stores and shops everywhere. It's one of those things where it's like a community where it's like houses. So there's not really much places to enter unless it's like my house.
We could always try to go back to the place that we came from.
You know, I suppose that's not a bad idea. Though, we'll be allowed up there? Well, we'll find out. Choshi just kind of shrugs.
Alright.
I actually will, out of respect, because I am partially responsible for Pongo, I'm gonna look for like an elder or somebody that responsible for an asset to help.
Sure. You find it and sort of exploring through the building near the sort of the outskirts. You do find a large, probably 2-story yurt. It seems. You know what a yurt is? Sort of a tent-like. House, sort of a nomadic building. And outside of it, sitting around a campfire, are what appear to be 2 elderly-looking individuals covered in cloth and beads. The air elderly. Two elderly individuals. One both female, wearing just looks like they're covered in just lengths of cloth, just draped around them. They look like, honestly, immobile with the amount of shit they have on. It just beads over them, and they're just sort of staring at the fire. One of them has a scraggly old arm, sort of poking at some what appears to be frying meat of some kind over a fire. They are the oldest people you've very clearly seen in this place.
Okay. I'll head over there. I'm kind of curious. Kind of walk over. What are they doing?
They appear to be cooking some bacon. Well, one of them is attempting to cook bacon, while the other one's just sort of staring blankly at the fire.
Oh, the smell of bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will gravitate towards it.
Okay.
I don't know about the rest.
Moo, here comes a visitor. What, Lou? We haven't had a visitor in ages. But Lou, we will share our meager sustenance. Come, young one. They sort of gesture over.
Oh, hello?
Greetings. Are we intruding? My apologies.
Are they intruding, Moo? No, Lou, they are not. They just appear to be talking to each other. They appear to be identical. Even though the age spots and wrinkles are exactly the same.
Wow. Okay.
I am Moo, and I am Lou. All of you immediately forget which is which.
I say, my name is Satoshi Denda.
Oh.
Yeah, let the party introduce themselves.
I am Ratagast.
I'm Boshi.
Very good.
And that's Pongo and Akane.
That is a very large hamster.
He's
Not a hamster, it's...
You know, I don't
What
really
is
understand its size myself.
It's a ponder bear. Interesting.
Is that what they're called?
What does it taste like? It sort of pokes at Pongo with a long stick.
I say, please. He is not for eating. He is my companion. Please.
Everything's for eating, if you're brave enough. Shut up, Moo. You're being creepy. Creepy? I'm honest. Honesty can be creeping.
I say, I suppose. Looks like you two been here for quite a while. Then.
Yes, we are the village elders.
Oh,
yeah.
please. My respect as I bow.
Why are you bowing? They're Kiyosh. Oh. What's a Kiyosh? You're an idiot, Moo.
And I say, me and my companions, we're just up in the castle, and we came down here to retrieve my Pongo here. But we were just exploring a little bit around, and unfortunately, Toshi kind of like scratches back in his head a little bit. Says the goat kind of got loose from the pen.
They always get loose. They're mountain goats. They can get out if they want to. They climbed a mountain easily. Do you think a fence is going to stop them? You're an idiot.
Well, if it was a really big fence...
Have you seen mountain goats?
It doesn't matter. Like, if they can only jump so high, you just make the fence higher than that.
Remember me the next time I have a large fence to put you in it.
I'm gonna be honest. For me, I don't think a large fence would stop me.
I
What about a cage, rat man? It's you with the long stick.
Do not put me in a cage.
Moo, you're being antisocial again. They're not being antisocial. They're being very rude.
I'm not.
I kind of like and lightly kind of elbow Radagast like, hey, show some respect.
I'm doing nothing.
I have 200 years of wisdom on you, Sonny. I think a goat's gonna escape a goat cage thing. It's gonna escape the goat cage.
Are you 240 then? You don't look that old. I see.
I am a raisin person. Why do you lie to me?
Yeah, the mirror. They can. It's like looking in a mirror. They can see when they're getting old.
You are a lizard. There is
I am.
nothing about you like looking in a mirror.
No, not me. The other one. Lou and
Which one?
Lou.
There's many.
No, the other you.
I'm Moo.
No, Lou.
I'm Lou. The other one
Yes,
sort of raises a head and
see that
smiles.
one. See that one.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember. Can we have some of your bacon?
Yes.
No, wait. We can't. Come on. And I like approach it.
It's mutton we've cut into the shape of bacon because we miss bacon terribly. It's been 230 years since we've had bacon.
Well, it's been too long since I've had food. So I
Do we-
will gladly take
Do we
some.
have any bacon in our provisions that we have?
I heard those who refrain from eating catch a terrible taste and case of the death.
Yeah.
Here, have some mutton.
See,
Yeah.
listen to Lou.
I had
I'm
to.
Lou!
Oh,
Asshole!
sorry. Other one.
Which one is yours
What,
which?
you
I
want me to tell
find
you
this very
apart?
confusing.
You look the same. I can't tell which one is Lou and which one is the
I
other one.
I tell Boshi to just like just sit down and I tell everybody come on and we yeah I want to kind of join the elders.
The block feature is intelligent. They don't say that as like a you've made the right decision and you're helping your group. They say it like they're genuinely surprised.
Yeah. Wow.
You were so quiet up until now. I didn't think you could speak.
Oh,
You're like
Oh,
a
you-
puppet.
you were-
They were dressing up.
you weren't able to hear me.
You were. I mean, you said words, but I mean, the conviction you said them with was lacking, so I didn't really hear
Yeah.
them.
My apology. And I will gather around and we'll sit and I hope the Pongo will join us.
The large hamster may stay. I like his fluffy skin. It's
Yes.
a panda. No.
Yes, it is a panda.
Come Pongo. Sit. And yeah, and
let these old
I'm just-
monks share with you stories.
Oh, what stories do you have?
yes, I'm
Ones
curious.
of battle, ones of great tragedy, ones of bacon. Many stories.
What is this bacon you speak of?
It is pork. Any
Oh.
part of the pork, I think, maybe. Or just the shoulder. No, that's pork shoulder, Lou. Oh, yes. It's thinly sliced pieces of pork. Or boar. Or person. Fried.
What? Sounds interesting.
Until it is crunchy burnt. And
Crunchy
delicious.
burnt?
Crunchy burnt. Have to burn it just a little bit, but it's
That
not
sounds
good.
horrible.
It's got to be have the little charry bits, or it's bad and soggy. No one likes soggy bacon. No one.
What?
If you do, you're wrong.
I'm just
That's
confused. Shouldn't
I
you want to
suppose-
eat fish? I think fish would surely be better, would it not?
Fish bacon? How do fish bacons? Can you make fish bacon?
Could you make-
No, you cannot make bacon out of fish. You could eat
Radagast,
raw
where would
fish.
they?
It is
Radagast,
sashimi.
where would they even get fish around here? We're on a mountain.
There is nowhere to fish here. Except
I
for the
didn't
koi
know.
pond. But there are only 4 fish, and they bite, and we do not want to eat them.
You could eat them.
But they bite, and
Yes.
we do not
Well,
want
Also,
to eat them.
they're fish. You have a spear, don't you? You have spears here. You just take the spear and done.
If you
Rats,
keep
just
being contrary, I'm going to bite you.
Radagast,
No,
just
don't
because they
bite
can
me, I
eat
don't want
something
to be
doesn't
bitten.
mean they should. We could technically eat you right now, but we're
Just
not.
because
going
I am
to.
old
I
does
don't
not mean
want
I
to-
cannot kick your ass, little boy.
Look, I'm innocent. I'm just asking questions. I've never been here before.
You're a bird and I don't like you. Ah, Blue, you're being hostile.
Look, I was trained by some monks, unks in my home.
Halloween! Expression completely changes.
I see. Well, yes. Tell me,
What?
Who did you train
Oh.
or where?
Well, would you know a monk by the name of Snook?
Schnook?
Snook.
Is he like you?
Yeah, he's a rat. Yes.
No.
Oh. It's very common.
Not that we have anything against rat people. We just don't like them.
There's something against them, I'm going to be honest.
But what's the Minotaurs? I can't remember.
Look, I don't steal stuff from you. What did I have done?
I never claimed you stole things from me. Should I be concerned? She sort of looks to you, Striker.
No, of course. I would never.
We don't have anything worth stealing. If we did, we would have stolen it already.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm more likely to set fire to your place by accident than actually steal something.
Yes,
I
have that issue.
I tell them I will make sure that he does not do that.
I can make sure we don't. We have occasionally accidentally maybe set fire to things. It gets very boring here.
I can imagine.
Again, they're just saying this stuff with this sort of wall-eyed, elderly, senile expression. You do train in the Jade Blade, as we did.
Blade? No.
The Jade Blade.
No.
We are not Kiyosh, as we have expressed, I think. Did we, Lou? Yes.
No, I have.
We didn't? Moo, you're wrong! You're wrong! Shut up, Lou. We are from the Greater Shens. She sort of outstretches her hands in a fantastical way as she says that.
What does the Greater Shens mean?
The Greater Shens is the conglomerated area of the Dao Empire and the Minhui Empire.
Let's see.
Which are the basically China and Manchuria in its equivalents. We have come far to set up roost in the mountains, so we maybe. You see, she visibly is falling asleep. The other one just sort of kicks the one that's falling asleep. Wake up, Blue! Oh yes, we were here to set up a fortress in the mountains to teach the burgeoning people of the Kiyosh. How do you say it?
Kiyosh.
Yes. Okay, there's two. You said it two different ways. I'm confused.
Just one of you say it each way. You say Kiyosh, you say Kiyosh.
Lou, you say Kiyosh, I'll say Kiyosh, and it'll be correct then, yes? Yes. Anyways,
would not necessarily be correct. What if you be wrong then, which would be not incorrect?
Hitoshi.
I don't know. You're really confusing.
I'm gonna lean over to Hitoshi and I'm gonna say, is Radagast also senile?
Are you? How old are you, young man?
How did you hear
I'm
me?
40.
How are you?
I died recently.
It's like she makes the expression that she's visibly counting in her head. I'm older than you.
Yes. Most definitely.
yes, I know, but have you died before? Twice?
I have died many times.
I see. How many times in a week?
In a week?
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you're dying more than once in a week, you're doing something wrong.
Oh, I do definitely agree with that. Recently, I have been doing stuff wrong.
Yes.
It takes a big rat, and she sort of smiles and sort of points your way like she's like a dad handing you $5. It takes a responsible person to admit when they're doing something wrong.
Yes, Radagast.
Being an asshole.
At the same point, one of them really wasn't my fault. I was horribly murdered by some demons in a forest.
Radagast here has died about 2 times in the last day.
It's the last 3 days, I would say.
You say demons?
Yes, demons.
What kind of demon?
He kind of got turned into sashimi.
For all intents and purposes, visualize that every other word they say is just alternated between them two.
Yeah, I imagine
like they're sharing a mind.
Not even we
Okay,
can
yeah. I'll proceed to describe the events of what we went through up the mountain.
That sounds like up the mountain. Serious shit, bucko.
Yes, I'm honestly surprised that we did die. suppose. But
Wow,
nonetheless,
fuck. And she's got this lovely old lady smile when she says that.
yes,
And
and
in a
yeah,
good way.
yes. But I mean, it is fair, I suppose. If we were well equipped, we would have faced the situation. So, but now that we're here,
I mean, who climbs a mountain without a coat? You just see Akane's face just.
oh no.
You know, I was thinking that same thing when we watched them go up there.
I say, we didn't really had enough time to really think about any of this. But now that we're here, please, I'm curious on this place. You said that you built this, yourself.
Oh
This place.
no, there were many of us back then.
Oh, where did they all go?
They died. It's been 200 years. We're monks. We're not exactly popping out babies like a farm or a,
Well, I don't know if your two
or a rat
still
colony.
around. Why would they be still around?
Maybe they sucked. We don't know. They died.
Did they die of old age, or were they horribly killed?
A mixture, if you'll believe it.
Really? Then why aren't you gone of old age?
We don't suck.
Hey,
have
isn't that
points.
kind of
I see.
They have a good point.
They just give like a shaky, really slow high five to each other. So you were not trained in the Jade way of the Jade.
No, I know.
way?
I'm trained in the way of guess what they call it, the wild magic.
Of rats.
So you explode.
Sometimes yes.
Don't
Sometimes
shit with
no.
us. That is a possibility, yeah? You just detonate.
Yes, that is
Yes.
a possibility.
That takes some balls. You completely re-envisioned your image in my mind. I have a
Which
respect for
one?
you.
Which ones?
to blow up?
Wow. I don't know what I'd do if I could just detonate.
Probably
be
explode.
strange.
If you could
I mean,
detonate
comedic
would
timing would be amazing. The opportunity for jokes at your expense would be unlimited. But
Yes, and
I
also
don't like
all
it.
of your guts and stuff would be on the walls.
Yes, the Dragon Man knows what he talks about.
And again, why does it bantering? I'm like wondering, the shinobi,
Oh yes, they're nice. They keep
when
us
did they
from
come?
dying. It's pretty good. Not too long ago, probably 30, 35 years ago.
And
a
I'm
man
assuming
showed up without his hand. And we were like, yo, you don't have a hand. You must suck. And he was like, yeah, I feel like I suck real bad right now. And we made him not die of his hand. It was pretty cool.
And so you just built a town in the mountains?
No, that was a long time ago. That was probably 200 years ago.
and all the
That was-
people in
that
this
was when
town.
we numbered over probably 400.
Man, 400
We used
people
our
sucking is a lot
ancient
of
ways to
sucking.
construct these forts. She wibbles her fingers as she says ancient ways.
If all of you sucked so bad that you died, why would you build your town in the mountains?
But believe it or not, we were not the commissioners of that unholy idea. But in part, it is the reason why we are still alive. You
Well,
see,
at least you
back
guys
when
don't
we
suck.
came here, Kiyosh was not as stable. Stable, that's funny. Kiyosh was never stable. It was not a nice place in the mountains, but we needed to be here because if the people had readily access to us, they would probably just kill us and take our things. I mean, we are monks of the Jade Blade, of the Jade Way. We have Jade weapons, very expensive. Lots of things that we own are very magical and very
How
expensive.
rare is jade?
Are those are those
Jade is not
efficient?
very rare. It is part of your currency, son. You should know this.
Yes, that I want to
Finding-
know as like a natural resource.
Finding a piece of jade large enough to construct a weapon out of is pretty fucking rare, bud.
How effective
Give
are
it a jade blade
weapons?
be. I'm good. I wonder.
And they're enchanted with blow your nuts off magic. They're pretty damn good, bud.
Oh, fair. I would just think they would smacking somebody with it would be pretty ill-effective.
Blow your nuts off
Yeah, I
magic
thought
is the
my-
best
my-
kind.
You have not been hit by jade very often, have you?
No, I've never been hit by it.
I just arrived in this plane today. Earlier.
A local cast!
Yes. I honestly just met Boshi just now and Rectigas 2 days ago, actually.
Ooh.
Yes. And one of us has not
We met you
died.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
One of us has not died but has gone missing into another plane. But we know where he is. I know where he is. These ones do not.
You're gonna
See how
die.
lovely these two elders are. I would offer if they need any help, as we are actually just waiting around for my father to be finished.
You could go catch those fucking goats you let go.
Ah, community
We did not let them
service.
go.
Fair. All right. I suppose I could do that.
Well, hold my coat, Lou, or the other one. I'm gonna go sneak up on those goats.
I'm not touching your shit. It's grimy.
Yeah, well, I think you're grimy, but you're going to hold
covered
it.
in psychic
I-
dust and shit. I could give me
kinda-
fucking leukemia. You don't know.
Fine, I'll go fucking put it on your shitty-ass fence.
Go for
Oh.
it. It's already on the ground.
I'll
Oh, your panda broke it. She says as you walk away. Anyways, that's what we're saying.
Shitty-ass fence with the shitty...
We've been here for a long time, longer than most samurai, or even your samurai culture has been as fulfilled as it is now. I mean, you fuckers have had people riding on horses with curved swords shooting arrows at villages forever, but only recently has it taken a more refined aspect. So we've heard. We haven't really come down of the mountain in the last 30 years, so...
I could tell them current relative state of what I know.
You know, coming down the mountain at 90 years old, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yes, I'll tell them about the current state of Kiyosh to my best of my knowledge.
We may look decrepit and old, but we can still kick ass butt.
I'm pretty. Oh wait, are you not decrepit and old?
I mean, yes, our minds are fading and our bowel movements are almost always painful and liquid, but I can throw a mean haymaker. I shit you not.
See?
And you see she stands up with exceedingly brisk speed.
Oh.
Gee, I'm pretty fucking fast, bud.
You
Very
know-
impressive
you know your
for-
I might
grandparents
even
are-
say I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Oh my god.
You know your grandparents are badass when they swear.
And they seem particularly foul-mouthed.
Both of them.
It's fine. Yeah. I'll ask. You both have vast wisdom, and if
Not
there's
really.
anything,
You sort of go crazy after 200 years in the mountains. I don't know how much of my wisdom's still applicable. I mean, my world experience sort of ended after 40, and I've been here, staring at rocks.
if you have any advice or wisdom you're willing to share with us, that would be great.
Don't get capped. What about you, Moo? She sort of says, just increasing her tone. Brush your teeth.
Well,
But don't do it with urine. We're past that. That's a no.
Well, I did ask for advice, wisdom.
You don't brush your teeth with urine. You just
No, I do not.
you brush it with medicated lard, which is still not great, but fantasy.
Better than urine.
Yeah, I want to ask if they ever think that they'll descend the mountainside and go back to the mainland.
Well, if I trip and fall after going to the bathroom, I may descend the mountainside. Yes.
It
No,
really has changed a lot. Since...
We weren't. We've technically been lying a little bit. We returned recently. We spent a month. Lou,
A
are
month.
you okay? Are you having a stroke again? Yeah. Okay, I will be right back. You see, one of them takes the other one who's kind of seizing into the tent, where you see a flash of light. She's fine. She comes. Only one of them comes back out. She's asleep now.
Do grandparents normally do that?
Does she need any help?
I never heard of magic.
I know a little healing if she needs help.
She sort of squints her eyes. Is that all you do?
Yes.
No, I have my sword. And then
all we do.
I will proudly show her my blade that I acquired.
I see.
Yes, I say. For some reason, this blade cost, I don't know. And then I'll unsheath it, and I say, with a word, I could ignite it with fire.
Oh, let me show you mine. And you see, out of the lumps of cloth that's basically burying her, she pulls a green bladed katana, and as she does, it ignites with a cackle of sort of vibrant pine colored electricity. This is a jade blade. Look here, ratty fuckboy. You see, this is not ineffective, you son of a bitch. She just swings it around like a maniac.
I will ask humbly, say, I am very curious on that.
Sure, you can have it.
Pardon me?
She literally, tomahawk throws it at you. I needed a dex.
Oh shit.
That's gonna die.
Dex save.
Hey. You duck your head up. Sorry. Oh. I was sort of really in the zone there for a moment, and then I lost it.
It's alright. Just nearly lost my head there. And then how far did the jade sword fly?
Probably 90 feet behind you.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll go retrieve that.
These are some mega grandmas.
I'll go retrieve it. And
I need a passive animal handling check from you, Boshi, as you've cornered a particularly large goat, and he doesn't look too super friendly. So I need an animal handling check from you.
Come here, you
as you try to rein this guy in.
Animal handling, which is
Top of the list. Ish.
Whoop.
So a 6. He charges you, headbutts you, and you go flying above him.
Oh, come on.
You land on your back in the snow as you see some village children just sort of giggling at you from atop a rock side nearby.
Can't believe I'm sent down here to do this. Wrangle goats for old people. What a waste.
To be honest, it's the quintessential D&D experience. Low level anyways. So
I get up and dust myself off and just kind of, I don't know, enjoy the scenery.
Alright, so you have a jade blade. You know very little about stonework blades. They're usually metal infused with liquefied through magical means, stone of some sort. Because this is a fantasy world, most stones that aren't just like granite, slate, limestone have some form of magical potential. Jade and gold, mithril, moonstone in D&D, in this is sort of a stony metal, if that makes sense. Lots of gems can be broken and magically melted and infused. It's largely the same process. This is an adamantine blade that has been infused with the enchantment potential of jade. Hence, jade blade. You're gonna have to do some experimenting to find the finities of this weapon. Well, it's not a katana. I don't know the name of it. It's a Chinese sword, if that makes sense.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. How it looks like, at least roughly, based on what you're telling me.
And that's why it was vaguely so surprising when she whipped it out of her robes, because that thing looks vaguely scimitar-y. It just was fucking waving her around like a dancing fan. Yeah.
I tell her, are you sure? just must have been a lot of work, or at least been with you for years.
Nah, I got like 5.
Oh.
I got 2 swords and a spear.
Then thank you for.
And I can always borrow my sister's.
And
honestly, none of these things have seen the beauty of bloodshed, or I guess defended the innocents, if that's what we're doing these days, in a long time.
See.
That was a joke, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, not having seen you. It's just I'm very old, and even though I'm as spry as the whitest guy you know, if a stiff breeze blows through, I am going to shit myself.
Huh.
I'm just that old. I'm a 250-year-old human being. You get that one.
Actually, when they say human, I'm like, wait. Humans don't get to live to 250 years old.
They do if they're boring as shit. That would be us.
Okay.
Meditation does wonders for the skin until like 102, and then it's all just a downhill.
I do have a question. Does the sword come with a sheath?
Oh shit! She pulls it out. Here you go. She also throws it.
Oh, okay.
You don't need to dodge. You're prepared for that one. Your sixth sense just goes off.
All right. I sheathed the sword and
you're quick. That time I meant to hit you.
I learn quick, as they say.
Yes. But we are thankful for what our time has given us, if that makes you feel any better about our piss-poor situation here, sitting in a yurt on a mountainside. We have taught the shinobi most of what they know. And if it were not against our creed, we would be living as queens. At least in their stead. But, alas, even though I hate it most days, this sort of peaceful, humble life without the simple amenities of toilet paper, she sort of seizes on that, is one of peace.
I say, I admire that. I spent almost my whole life living in basically a castle and very lavish at one.
Really sucks, and it's also pretty cool. I would see the sort of the mental illness that could be born from that.
Yes. I do confirm that. Like I do have my father, and I did run away in the beginning. So you're not
run away from their responsibilities. People they're supposed to lead. Probably maybe could have died because they weren't there. Oh, shut up now.
Hitoshi's gonna make excuses for himself that say, "Hey, Hitoshi is a fine woman, but I'm not ready." And yeah, he's gonna make excuses for himself.
You told me she's like a 9, a 10. I'm gonna be honest. If you ran away from that, are you sure you're not like into men? I feel like that could be like a thing for you. Pretty, you're really pretty. I mean, I used to know a lot of monks that would go for something like you. Big burly types. Such a thing. I'm joking. Marriage is scary. It's a big commitment.
Yes.
We many brothers and sisters. Many of them were wed in scenarios to people they liked but didn't love. You know what I mean? And those are usually tragic stories.
I think Lady Hino and I do have those feelings for her, but at the same time, she understands. At least I hope she does. Toshi actually kind of backs with his word because he actually never kind of totally.
Yeah, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. She's probably real pissed, like extremely angry with you. Like a lot.
Toshi kind of sigh.
Like I'm going to be honest. She may not even want to talk to you ever again. A woman's heart is extremely important. Are you stupid? Are you a dumb? That's really rude of me, but like, again, a 9 or a 10. You ran away from those long legs and beautiful hair, supple bosom, everything. Come on, man.
Supple what?
I live on my life a fucking mountain for 240 years, and you fucking pretty boys are running around, running away from the best food you've had in your whole life. For fuck's sake, she just gets up and goes into her tent.
Wait, did
I look to Rathagas and say,
Rathagas is just speechless.
I'm gonna walk back over and I'm like, did the raisin say you had a supple bosom?
I look at Boshi, I'm like, why are you covered in snow?
I don't know what's happening. So many things.
Staring blankly into space.
Like,
I hate this place.
10 minutes
I'm gonna go
ago-
back to the second
Yeah, I don't want to be here. Not
are you-
here, just like talking to strange people.
I look at Boshi and say, well, that's one of the parts of being here, I suppose. Being down here. It's to talk with other people. And that's something that I think you have to get used to, my friend, if you're around us.
You know,
And I say, and how was the goat catching?
and I'm
managed to
I'm
catch
gonna
a
look
few
over
of
my
them.
I'm gonna look over my shoulder at all the goats that I did not catch, and I'm gonna look back at Hitoshi. I'm be like,
You did catch 6 of them, just FYI. There are 6 back in their pen because
okay.
of you. You are a capable individual.
It was relatively successful. Until that one bastard hit me. And he got
Who hit you?
snow on my cloak.
Did somebody assault you?
I'm gonna point at the goat that hit me.
It's just
So he
eating
just burst out laughing. Toji just burst out laughing.
Yeah,
He was like, a goat really did this to you.
yes. I know, you'd think highly trained person from the Order of Nine Eyes comes down here to help you find your whatever, and I get murdered by a goat.
I apologize, my friend. We just met, but seeing from your stature and seeing that you literally just got hit by a goat, sorry, it is quite funny. But of course, that is rude of me. My apologies, but
I agree,
Yes.
it's way funnier when you're not being hit by one and it's your friend.
and I tried to wrap the gas and say, what do you think of them? Looks like they train the kind of the way you did, but not really, I suppose.
Interesting way.
Maybe they'll throw another sword at your head.
I hope not. And when he said that,
I really hope they don't do that.
you preparing to have another sword thrown at your head.
no, I'm going to just kind of look at the jade sword that I got, and I'm like, I'm really curious on this, and I guess I'll have to attune to it, right? Is that what you said, or I have to just study it more?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I suppose I won't go inside the yurt, but I'll stand outside and say, pardon me, but is everything okay?
What? You're still here?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why we're still here. Let's go before they start talking.
Oh, the lizard man came back. Did you see her peek her head outside of the flap of the ear?
Yes, I did.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
You managed to catch the goat.
Yeah,
Yes,
I,
I
half
thought-
your goats.
I didn't think you could do that, actually. I'm impressed. Good
thanks.
job. Good on you. Good. She reaches her hand out and pats you on the head. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hitoshi will bow and say, yes, we will probably be returning to actually, how's the goat situation looking like right now?
They're being corralled back.
Alright, in that case, yes, Hitoshi's still bowing. I think we'll make our way back to the castle. But thank
Alright.
you for the time.
I'm gonna kind of dust the rest of the snow and dirt off my
You
clothes.
see that old fart Yokikage? Tell him I need more beans.
Pardon me,
I'm out of
I don't know-
beans. He's the only way he can procure sends sort of caravans down to the mountain occasionally. Hidden passageways. Very, very, very overdone. And that's coming from us.
Yes,
Anyway.
who are the men you speaking of?
Yokikage Ematsu.
Oh, Kage, okay. Yes. Alright. Alright.
Hokage Yokikage Amatsu. It's weird, I know, but it's his name. It's not like you can. Can you change that? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and with that, hopefully with the Kai and Pongo and everybody else, alright, let's go.
As you leave, remember the beans!
Yes! I scream out, yes!
Give you a fucking sword! Anyways, get back up to the castle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You follow the way you came in. Akane is still void at the reference the old lady made, but she's following.
I turn to Kai and say, you know, they might be a little, I suppose, raw, but they were really nice, in their own way.
Thank you.
And I look to Kai, and I tell Kai, like, I don't think they meet. Like, I kind of. Here, I tell, maybe if it make you feel better, I'll tell Pongo to just cop onto Pongo.
Yeah. I'll get over killing you at some point.
Trust me, Akane. If anything, I led us into this. If anything, I am responsible here.
I literally was there the whole time. I am a voice you listen to every day and agree with most often.
I tell her to not worry about it. That I am willing to.
That is literally what your father put me in charge of doing. Was worrying about you.
Yes.
Albeit so he didn't have to, but yeah.
I understand you care, but I care about you too, and about your well-being. So it's okay. And as we're walking and stuff, we're talking, comforting, goofing around with Radagast if he's doing stuff. Dick around, we're walking.
Alright, you return to see. Can I have a perception check from everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it require any auditory cue?
Well,
That is a no.
it
Archie,
won't let me deselect advantage. It's not giving me the option, by the way.
I'll fix that before next session. Don't worry, but I always take the first number anyways. Can I get one from Radagast?
What check exactly?
Perception.
Perception.
We're perceiving.
21.
Yes. So Pashi and Radagast, you notice two horses, new horses in the stable. Hitoshi, you notice a familiar mon being flown next to the Shinobi clan's crest. It is a Dendamon. It is usually ceremonial. It's culturally expected that when delegates or family members of a clan, even if they're a rival clan, arrive at your home, you fly their mon in at least one area. I mean, you can disrespect them by flying it in an inconvenient area where most people won't see, but this is prominently displayed. So what's that? You enter the courtyard. You see Inudomo waving at you from the door into the palace complex.
Yes. Pongo. Stay in the courtyard. Stay.
Just lets out a big cursing sort of yawn and falls over.
Oh, there you go. And I'll go towards them and tell everybody to go.
Then do remind me what we are doing here.
As we're like walking quickly, I say, well, initially I was here to look for my father. But since he is here already, my original mission has already succeeded. Now,
Don't tell me the raisin ones are your father.
no.
Thank God. I
Yeah.
can't handle more of them. But yes,
And,
do carry on.
I do have an important message that I do need to get to my father. That which I cannot really much explain right now. But hopefully you understand.
Shit. Alright.
I do.
I broke something. I'm sorry. Shit.
As per usual.
I am the breaker of things. Fear me.
With your
Breaker of things.
Things unintentional.
What's that video that's like the less words are in a magic weapon's name, the more dangerous it is? It's like you don't want to be on this, yeah, the Throngler, and then it's like Gur's destroyer of
Earth's Edge of Annihilation.
Yeah, and it's like the Throngler. It's great.
The fuck
Do you follow Neudomo's gestures?
Yes.
Alright. You enter and you find that you make your way to the tea room where you were before, that long table, and you find as you enter, the room is much more brightly lit. You see lanterns are. Shut the fuck up. Shit. You see that lanterns that were previously unlit have been lit, and the doors and windows have been closed. Another thing you notice as you enter is, my son, as you see your father.
I immediately just kneel on one knee and I say, Father.
You see that he's sitting. He's sitting right next to where that. He's sitting on the side of the table away from you, and he's the closest seat, or I guess kneeling pillow, to that large throne-like sort of seated pillow. And you do see another individual who is seating elevated even above your father. You're not familiar with this man. He's a squat man with gray mutton chops. He's wearing a black kimono, and he's missing a hand, which just appears to be a mechanical hand. So it is there. It's sort of clockwork and making ticking noises. And he stands there.
I say, greetings, Master Denda.
I say, Father, it's good to see you.
I'll say, hello, so you're Hitoshi's father?
And please, pardon me, Father, these are my companions, and I point them out. This is Ratigas,
hello?
Moshi.
I'm gonna take another bow.
Apparently...
We will have times for introductions later. We have an urgent matter to speak.
Of course, Father.
Okay, I see.
Sit.
Alright. Should I be here, or is this...
No. But I presume my son has informed you of the reason why you have come here.
No, we have no idea.
Not really, to be honest.
Actually left that detail out, Father, just because it was meant to be for you.
Do you trust them?
Well,
Relatively.
one of them saved my life. The other one actually saved my life, so yes, Father, I will say yes.
I've technically died 2 times with you, Hitoshi, so I hope you trust me.
Yes, Ratigas did technically die.
Twice.
I get a persuasion check from all 3 of you.
Oh, what check?
You just see the belief in your father's eye just turn to speculation.
Hold on,
He's
wait.
like,
Oh,
no! Like, technically, it's the truth. But at the same point, he's like, bullshit.
Okay,
like,
so he wants to believe you. He takes the regal bearing of Boshi and the fact that you are indeed alive, and somebody may have vouched for your the events of which they have occurred. Yes. However, Ninja Rats, instead of saying that you died, you Freudian slip and say that you killed him. And then you immediately high pitched go sort of the red man.
Okay.
Don't worry,
okay.
the rat man is senile, it's fine.
The way
I am not senile, I'm only
senile.
40!
He's
so
senile.
not bicker in my presence! The one who's on the throne sort of stands up, and you notice hidden at his side is an unsheathed blade that he uses to help prop himself upwards from his throne.
I bow in respect.
Silence!
Okay, fine.
Apologies.
Yell.
And I kind of like give the side eye to Radagast to get away quickly. Now I sit down and not talk.
Your father sort of bows his head. He says, "Apologies, Yokikage. They are necessary. And I know, but I do not believe you. This is my son, my blood. If I was brave enough to trust you all those years back, you can trust me now. Fine. Say what you must." Your father turns to you, Dosh.
Yes.
Things are complicated at this moment. I know you have much you want to say, and I do too. But that really needs to wait right now. I have thrown away my honor. Of my own volition. It's sort of, your heart just sinks, because that's a lot.
Yeah. And I'm saying,
especially for your dad, who has just been this icon of what to be. A honorable, valiant man who never sacrificed his principles to, and never so much as stepped out of line regarding the Kiyoshin honor system, but would not, he wouldn't sacrifice his principles for it, but only because he believed so strongly in it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I am willfully committing treason. You see Yoshikage identified as the man with the mutton chops sitting at the throne. You have done no such thing! No such thing! It is they who have committed treason. I swear, Kiyosh. The Shogun is a knave and a coward. Your father just sort of looks away. That's sacrilege.
Yes. With this
immediate, just intense sacrilege.
Otoshi does the same thing. It's like, oh.
Because Kiyoshi doesn't have an emperor like feudal Japan does. The Shogun is the sort of the divine appointed ruler. He sort of takes.
Shogun is the emperor, basically.
It's the Shogun. The Kiyoshin Shogun is a mix between the Japanese shogunate and the Japanese emperor, if that makes sense.
No.
So he's basically a god.
I wish to raise my hand.
Sure.
And simply calmly say, so about how many laws are we breaking by doing this?
Hitoshi's dad looks at you square in the face.
I see. So I'm guessing there is about no chance I can back out now. Well, fair enough.
The guy, no, he would kill you.
Understandable. I mean, I have died twice, but don't think I would survive a third time.
Yeah, there's no such thing as backing out in such honorable presence.
So, currently, if I'm understanding this, you mean to overthrow the shogunate?
So they sort of look at each other, and you see Yoshikage sort of nods, the man on the throne, to Hitoshi's dad. Hitoshi's dad says, "We mean to murder those who are currently attempting to overthrow the shogunate, because the shogunate is not enlightened enough to see it. And thus, we are going against the shogun's will."
I see. So we are not directly opposing the shogunate technically directly. We are indirectly.
We are definitely doing that. We have contacts with Clan Mara. They are assisting us.
From my understanding, some people very close to the shogun are clearly influencing him, and we have
Clan Yuki, our parent clan.
Clan Yuki, I see.
They are currently fighting a war alongside the shogun to cede the lands Clan Mara owns, due to their failure, which I have openly expressed my dissatisfaction with. This is Hitoshi's dad, to establish a foothold in the Kojong state. Their tariffs on our trade are too high. It was an embarrassment. Their turtle ships setting fire to our boons across the Great Strait. A sight I will never forget.
Do we know who we're supposed to even fight, Father?
The regent of Daimyo Yoshimatsu Yuki. Princess Kozuki Yuki. She transpires with the machinations of God tools used to shape this land during the time of upheaval.
Then, Father, I suppose that you already know that Clan Denda has been called to arms.
He sort of closes his eyes. That is why I left. I trusted your brother's indecision as an excuse to evade our precious men and women for sacrificing themselves in this fool's errand of the folly of a war. My rage and disappointment with Clan Mara changed to anguish and pity towards them. They suffer at our own hands. They suffer at the weapons we made for Clan Yuki. Because Clan Yuki's ambitions seem to betray all things we hold dear. Every tradition, every figure of the patriarchy of Clan Atsuki, a shogunate state. It is unheard of. And she means to do it from what I have been given in visions and through the use of our host seers. Representing the seers, who are, sages and fortune tellers of magical abilities. That she means to use the font of eternal flame. I do not believe any of you are familiar.
No. Do I still have that letter in my possession about the demon thing?
Yes.
By chance? Okay. I will also, since this is pertaining to, because this is signed by Clan Yuki, right? Or at least a stamp.
Yeah.
I say, then what you're telling me, Father, is that this is true, and I will bring out this letter and proceed to give it to him and say.
So he takes it and brings it towards Yoshikage so they can both read it. Yoshikage sort of stamps his blade through the Tiamat, sort of beneath him, almost plunging it to the hilt as he stands up. You see his legs are a little... They're not shaky, but she's sort of unbalanced. And in that moment you realize he's vaguely inebriated, but that's something else. He says, I knew it! Those orange dogs! Clan Natsuki is just as traitorous as the men that plan to overthrow them. Demons, burning homes. You see, he takes one of the fucking mons on the wall and just throws it, which isn't really it's his own mon, but he's just fuming. His eyes are darting around. Your father's just sort of standing there with a note, taking a little bit more of a clinical sort of expression on his face, sort of nodding. It is a useful tool. It may very well exonerate us if we can find more information backing it up. Right now, this could be a forged letter. But stealing the stamps of both our Shogun and Clan Yuki would be pretty impossible. You see, he sort of chuckles to himself. This is a ray of hope for us. Where did you find it?
Yeah, what did I... Is this a cultist hideout?
You found it in the cultist hideout. So if you remember the cultists who basically formed a pike line to fight you in that hallway, yeah.
It's been a while ago. Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Once you beat them, you killed the leader, and the leader in his sort of the ritual room had the note.
Yes.
Sort of it was instructions for him to time is now, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You vaguely put together that it's probably what started the attack on that village, and it probably. I mean, you don't know enough about demons, but the potential is there for much more havoc that would have occurred had you and that lone samurai not, your group and that lone samurai at the time not engaged those creatures.
I will further put the heavy hammer down and say, we have also encountered demons, Father. Most likely due to Clan Yuki. Satoshi is kind of like saying it kind of lowly, but kind of just like shit.
you give him like the full descriptions of those.
Yep, everything.
Everything.
You see, he just sort of stumbles to his chair and sits down. He says, "No, not again."
What do you mean, Father?
That is where we'll end today's session.
Boy, this is some.
Pretty good.
You guys wanted political intrigue. I'm giving you fucking political intrigue.
I wish to overcast magic missile at everyone.
Whoa.
Radagast is trying to start a war here.
Toshi has to be the one
I
striking
wish
down.
to become the suicide ball.
Jesus Christ.
Just his voice turns something more guttural, and he keeps repeating the words he says. Yes. Bomb. Won't shut up about this warp stone, whatever the fuck that is.
It's weird.
Again, I want to apologize, Sam, for yesterday. I went overboard. I had lost a series of really important battles to my campaign, to clan. At that point, I was just like, fuck.
I know.
Fuck their stuff. 4 units of spears, gold chevron 1, annihilated.
Yeah.
And I needed those spears, because they were the whole reason their clan rats weren't swarming over my very precious archers.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. So, like, Ikit, when played well, is very terrifying. Because they have the nuke. But it's very annoying to fight against them when they have the nuke.
Yes. But yeah, hopefully that inspires people for next week to be excited.
Yeah.
Yo,
oh, Max, during the session, during the downtimes when I wasn't talking, I worked on my backup character.
Ooh.
So you can check him out.
Yes, I was a little concerned with your silence today. You were talked over a little bit, and I didn't know how to reach out to you, so I was just like, I hope he's okay.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
No.
I'm intrigued with your new character. I wasn't sure. We didn't really talk very much about Bashi since we made him. So I'm enthralled with his sort of attitude, because you are usually
just dump on me like all the lore for the order, and I'll just go crazy with that.
I will dump on you as much as your character would know.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to explain your character's sort of job a little bit more precise to you as well. Just when I can talk to you, probably at the end of next session, I'll just pull you into a call.
And because we're not having Mindun this week, are we?
No,
we're having it on Monday. Yes. So yeah, technically we're still having it every week. It's just last session would be this week's session because it's on the Sunday. Yeah. Sorry.
It's gonna be good.
Yo, pretty good.
I'm finally playing a character without a what's it called? Sunny disposition.
That's what I mean. Like you play funny characters really well, and even if and I'm not like they're not like gimmicky characters like the monk man you were telling us about.
Jean-Ju.
Yeah, well, like you're good at just playing like characters that have a good sense of humor about things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's really impressive because most people when they take 30 damage on a 40 HP character are like, well, fuck. And you're like, well, fuck, but you're also like, you're still engaging and acting appropriately for having taken that damage as a character who can go from riffing jokes and doing that sort of thing to being like, well, shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited because I never really play super serious characters in D&D. So it's a nice change.
Well, I'm glad I could. My session is that of which you feel comfortable doing so.
Yeah.
No, pretty fun. Had a good time.
Yeah. I mean, I would have let us go another 30 minutes. I need to really cram now, because, I mean, shit. Like thinking about the meeting with your dad.
Yeah.
Seems a lot more intimidating than it is. But I always come out of moments like this thinking like, well, now I have all these things that I didn't think that I thought I had like pretty good prepared, that I'm just like, well, shit. What are the detailed descriptions of those demons?
Yeah.
Like what are they doing right now? And I'm just thinking like I knew they were doing stuff, but I'm just like now I have to be more liberal with it. If that makes sense. Anyways, yeah. I'm cool to chill if people want to chill.
Sure.
By the way,
I'm probably gonna be falling asleep here. I took sleeping medicine, so it was a good time actually that we ended. Because I'm falling asleep. Yo, man, it's hype.
Yeah.
Hopefully I did okay, guys.
Yeah, you did
I
great.
thought that was a pretty good session with the raisin people and all.
Yes, I
think a sword chucked at me.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's just this is I said it yesterday. I think when I was talking to Siren, like there are gonna be parts. He said that he felt bad that he was taking too much time. Like a D&D campaign that has characters, especially if it's a character-driven one, where people aren't just running characters with basically no backstory, just towards a driven goal. If that makes sense, like, oh, we gotta defeat the Lich King. We know where the Lich King is. We just gotta know how to beat him, and that's just sort of the adventure. Not really like I was orphaned at a young age, and my sister was cursed by a hag, and I'm sort of dealing with the trauma from that. Like that gives the dungeon master ability. Well, I can make an arc with that hag that allows you to resolve some of that shit, right?
Well,
and sort of allow not only you to see your character grow, but the party to sort of relate, I guess, in a stronger way, develop, instead of being just like, oh, I just met these people, I'm gonna cast Revivify on them and spend thousands of diamonds and stuff like that, that you actually feel the need to do that, because you like those characters, right?
Yeah. Me personally, I like all the overall, like, overarching going towards the goal stories I think are really good, but I really like the character-driven ones. Like the subplots.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that with us. It's just this is a very Hitoshi driven. This is sort of the Hitoshi subplot is sort of intersecting with the story right now.
Yeah.
And that's where we are, so it's gonna be fairly Hitoshi centric.
No, I just went to adventure.
If only it were so easy.
I
If
went to
only.
adventure.
But now we have to start a war.
We might get that though. If we can, like, I told Siren said he has on occasion thought about running a one shot, and
Really?
that filled me with so much joy. Because like I think Siren would be a good DM. I think Siren would be a good DM.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never thought about that.
Well, he's good with technical information. He's got a good descriptive mind. He's good at visualizing. He's a great explainer of things, and he's super fucking chill all of the time. So yeah, I think he'd do great. But
I'm interested to see how that goes.
yeah, and I mean, I would extend that to everybody here. And if anybody wants to do one shot, I can more than assist in setting that up.
I gotta learn how to DM, man, because I'm terrible at
One
DMing.
shot, more like zero shot, because I don't got no.
You got time to play. You got time to work. You want to know how long I worked on this?
How long, bro?
2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yo, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yo, dude, I always feel like you're working on D&D like non-stop, so I feel like
The thing
like, oh,
that
you
takes
You gotta
a lot
make all
longer is
this in-depth lore, man.
The thing I feel like takes a lot longer is actually probably building the maps.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
if I'm RPing, I'll spend probably 30 minutes to an hour finding sort of just screen images that are vaguely interesting that people can kind of get the gist of the situation, and developing characters. Like just point form character traits, like everything from like what do they do in their off time to their sexuality, because those are important things that shape a person.
Right.
If that makes any sense. So just building them and then sort of going over in my head kind of what they sound like. It's super cringy, but you kind of got to do it, especially if you're trying to do character voices and stuff.
Yeah.
And that'll only take me like, if I'm really going into it, 3.5 hours, 4 hours. But if I'm gonna build a map a day, just that'll be my contribution. That'll take like an hour. So, yeah. But I'm super excited you guys are out of the dungeon, because I can take a little bit of a more relaxed stance to it, because I'm not trying to make dungeons that make sense. If that makes sense. Like you can make a room with a monster in it easy. But, like, where do the pillars go? Why are the pillars there? Why are these statues configured the way they are? Because those things need to make sense, Because when you look at game design in, like, Skyrim, those things vaguely make sense. like even the dungeons that are all windy and sort of blah blah blah, if all of those passages were open, in quotation, a lot of them would make more sense instead of just the linear path you take in Skyrim or whatever. Like the Draugr crypts they're not just places for dead bodies, they're embalming sites where bodies would be taken to be prepared to be buried. Dwemer areas have workshops, right? That don't always add to the encounter zone with the enemies, but they're there. They have loot. They have they might have an anvil or a forge to make, so you can mid dungeon make weapons and stuff. Like there's a lot of technical stuff. I think that I pull from a lot of Bethesda games, but or try to. I don't want to say I do because I feel like that's presumptuous. Yeah. Anyways. Long story short, it's not as complicated as it is. I've not actually even cracked my Dungeon Master's Guide very far. I use my DM screen when I'm confused about grappling rules and sort of like hit points of items and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I will be back, and I'm gonna do some Warhammer 3. I think, if someone wants to do that with me.
Alright. And you said we're gonna discuss Order
I gotta write
or on a... Oh, you gotta write it?
I gotta write some stuff, because, like, I'm gonna be honest, I sort of threw that suggestion to you when you were making your character. I didn't think you'd go for it, not to imply that I didn't want you to go for it.
Yeah.
I said, but, like, there's 1,000 of the things that you and you're very, like, the way you make characters, I think, is very interesting. Because you sort of have an idea for them, and I just sort of see you as the kind of person that has some of those ideas already kind of going.
I just like to make the character first, and then I make all the stats. Like I have an idea of what they are, and then I go for that.
I think that's a really good way to do it too. I mean, the other way is just starting a character and being like, okay, what's the story for this guy? Is also
it also makes RP more fun, which is my favorite part.
Yeah. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Rats.
Yes.